Hello everyone, myself Mallesh, lecturer Mechanical Engineering, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. Today I am here to explain steam boilers, Unit 2 in Applied Thermal Engineering for 5th semester Mechanical Engineering students. Dear students, in previous sessions, I have explained the different boilers. Those are the simple vertical boilers. And then we have a Cochrane boiler. I explained construction and working, advantages and disadvantages of a Cochrane boiler, and Babcock and Wilcox boiler. So these are the some low pressure boiler I have explained in detail with videos, and we have with videos and with the PPT with MCQs I have explained. I hope you all are aware about you all are got the point of what I have teach in previous sessions. So today's session I have going to explain Lancashire boiler and locomotive boiler. These are the two the major important boiler are used in the used for the production of a steam for the different applications. Suppose say for Lancashire boiler it's a mobile boiler, as well as a locomotive boiler is also used in the some locomotive steam engines in railway workshops. So these are the two major important boiler I'm going to explain in detail. Students, Lancashire boiler. So what is Lancashire boiler then? So it is a stationary fire tube, internally fired, horizontal and natural circulation boiler. So it is a stationary boiler, it doesn't move anywhere, and it's a fire tube boiler, and it's internally fired, horizontal and natural circulation boiler. So working pressure and power required are moderate here. So the working pressure is very minimum, and the power required is also very moderate. So let's see the construction. So this boiler consists of cylindrical shell of a 2 meter in dia, and length varies from 8 meter to 10 meter. Secondly, two fire tubes run throughout the length of the boiler. So you see here we have a cylindrical shell of 2 meter in dia, length varies from 8 to 10 meter. Again, it's a two fire tubes run throughout the length of the boiler. I will explain in detail in next slides. So just see, one is a cylindrical shell and another two is two fire tubes are consist. Again, we have the fire tubes are diameter less than half of the diameter of shell. So here the two major fire tubes are there. Those tubes are the diameter is less than diameter of shell of the boiler. So this is the construction feature, and this boiler is mounted on a brickwork setting with front end shell sloping about 1.250 for empty shell. So 1:250 for empty shell. So that ratio the boiler shell is mounted on brickwork, and it's a shell the slope is given about 1:250 for empty shell. So fire bridge is provided to prevent the fuel. So here the fire bridge is provided to prevent the fuel from falling over end of furnace. So fire bridge is provided to avoid the fuel falling over end of the furnace. So again we have hot gases from the grate area enter into the fire tubes and comes out of the back of the boiler. So the hot gas from the grate area enters into fire tubes and comes out of the back of I will show you in the next slides. So these hot gases flow through 85% of actual heat transferred through surface of the fire tube, while 15% is transferred through the bottom of the set tube. So when the hot gases from the hot box or fire box, it flows 85%. Actual heat is transferred through the surface. In the surface, it will flows, and the remaining 15% is transferred to the bottom side of the flows. So then the conclusion is what? The maximum heat is transferred in the upward portion of the boiler. So let's see with this video you will have a small idea about how the Lancashire boiler is present and how the construction, how it will work. Let's take a glance on this video. We'll go through in further slides.
Give a brief description of Lancashire boilers. Lancashire boiler is a low pressure internally fired stationary fire tube boiler with natural circulation. Its pressure range, steam production rate and efficiency are Now let's try to understand its construction and working. Note that here we'll use the front view, top view, side view of the Lancashire boiler to explain its construction and working. Lancashire boiler consists of a horizontal cylindrical shell filled with water surrounding two large fire tubes. The cylindrical shell is placed over brickwork, which creates several channels for the flow of hot flue gases. Solid fuel is provided through the fire door, which is then burnt over the grate at the front end of each fire tube. A small arch-shaped brickwork is provided at the end of the grate to deflect the flue gases upwards and prevent the entry of burning coal and ashes into the interior part of the fire tubes. The fire tubes are slightly conical towards its rear end to increase the velocity of hot flue gases. Then hot flue gases are allowed to pass through the downward channel towards the front end of the fire tubes. Now these gases pass through the side channel towards the rear end of the fire tubes and finally escape through the chimney. There are dampers at the end of each side channel to regulate the airflow. Feed check valve is used to feed water uniformly to the boiler shell. Once the boiler is heated adequately, water converts into steam by absorbing the heat from the flue gases. This steam stores at upper portion of the boiler shell, where anti-priming pipe separates the water from steam. Thus, the steam stop valve receives the dry steam for various purposes. A manhole is provided at the top and the bottom of the shell to allow a man to enter in the boiler and clean it. A blow-off valve is provided to remove the mud that has settled down. It is also used to empty the boiler. This is the complete construction and working of Lancashire boiler. Some of the major advantages and disadvantages of Lancashire boiler are: Lancashire boilers are commonly used to drive steam turbines, marines, locomotives, etc. They are also employed in sugar mills, textile mills, etc. Thus, we can summarize as
Students, you can get now in brief with this video how the Lancashire boiler are constructed and how it is mounted on the some brickwork, and how are the shells are mounted, and where actually the grate is placed, and where the furnace grate is placed, and where the coal is actually burnt, and how the flue gas path is provided. So those are all you will have a clear picture from the diagram. So let's see here. This black diagram shows the three views of a Lancashire boiler, from the top view and bottom view, and we have a side view. So let's see from the side view. So we have two fire tubes in cylindrical shape. So in the fire tubes we have a fire grate. So fire grate is provided for the combustion purpose. The fuel is supplied from the furnace door. So here you will have fire grate, and you have the combustion process occur. So when the combustions occur, the flue gas is liberated, that will flows towards the chimney directions. So here the flue path is passed along the direction of tube. So when the flue gas passes around the tubes, so these are the tubes, the water is circulated here, water is surrounded here. So when the flue gas passes from this tube, then surrounded water is extract the heat from the tube, tube that contains the flue gases. Then the water will get heated and transform into steam portion. So when this steam is collected in the upper portion of the boiler drum, so this is called the boiler drum. So this boiler drum is mounted on the the brickworks. Some brickwork you can show here. This is a brickwork. So this is the boiler drum with have two cylindrical fire tubes. So here here you provided the hash bit for the storage of hash and to extract the hash from the hash bit. So this flue gas once passes through the tube and again it will passes, and again you see in the bottom view, so from the flue gas it will flows in the two direction multi direction, and again it flows to the chimney. It will flows to the chimney. So this is one direction it is showing here. In bottom you show here from the flue gas. So this is the combustion tubes. From the tubes it flows the gas. Again it flows the multi direction. Both will flows to the chimney. So this is the exit passage. So you can call this is a side channel 1 and this is a side channel 2. Bottom you can say this is the bottom central channel, and this is the bottom central channel. This is the furnace grade and this is the fire tube. You can call this is the fire tube. We have two fire tubes. So upon that we have a steam space is provided for the collection of the steam. After that we have steam stop valve, safety valve, furnace door, and blow off valve is also there to remove some moisture content in the steam. Similarly, these are the side channel. This 1 and 2 is the side channel. So this is a clear picture of the Lancashire boiler. Here already I explained. This is a stationary boiler. Stationary boiler for the purpose of for the purpose of some marine application as well as some steam engine application they are going to use. So this is a, let's see how it will works. So the Lancashire boiler will works based upon the when the pump the water into the boiler shell through the economizer. So the feed pump is pump the water into the boiler shell through the economizer. So the fuel is charged through the fire holes on the grate. I already showed in the burn. So from the fire door the fuel is fed to the grate. There actually the burning will happening. The combustion will occur. So after that the fire tubes transferring about 83% of total heat to the water, then they travel in the downward direction through the bottom flue to the front of the boiler, transferring about 9.5% of total heat. So it says from the flue gas passes through the tube, there 83% of the total heat will transfer in upward direction. So remaining 9.5 or 10 around percent 10% excuse or of the total heat flows downward. So that means 83% of the heat will be utilized and 9.53% of is also utilized, but some losses is occur due to downward movement of the flue gas. So again this will remaining 7.4% of the total heat before reaching the chimney. It will carry, the flue gases will carry nearly 7.5% of the total heat while coming out of the combustion chamber, that will losses to the chimney and it will exhaust to the atmosphere. So the flow gases controlled by dampers which regulates the rate of combustion as well as steam generation. Means, so we have a dampers are there to control the flow of gas. So whatever the exhaust gases will flow, that will control by dampers which regulates the rate of combustion as well as steam generation. So once the damper will provided sufficiently to control the flow of gases, then the combustion will occur positively. There is no losses may occur in the combustion. So again the mud and sediments formed in the shell removed using blow off cock is there to remove some of sediments contained in the water that will blow out. Again from the blow off cock valve, the steam is accumulated in the steam space above the water level is passed over an anti-priming pipe to flow through the superheater. Again we have superheater, so we can use. So there when the saturated steam is accumulated in the steam space, from the steam space we have a superheater passage. The saturated steam is taken out to the superheater, where it will again converted into high pressure high temperature steam with constant pressure by the application of heat, that is application of flue gases in the passages. So that is the one function of a superheater provided here. So again the hot gases before entering the bottom flue gas passed over the superheater. This is the concept. So the superheater is a device is to convert the saturated steam into superheated steam by the application of heat, by the application of hot gases before entering the bottom flow gases. This is utilization process. Here the waste it is utilized by the superheater to convert into high temperature steam. Again, the superheated steam is finally drawn through the steam stopper for different application. You can application for marine application, or you can application for steam engine, or in your steam turbine. Whether whatever the applications are required, you can use the steam for that applications by the controlling of stop valve. Students, let's take a glance at advantages of a Lancashire boiler. So what may be the advantages in industry using Lancashire boiler? So it's a economical and easy to operate, clean and inspect, and it's a low maintenance cost. It may be very economical and easy to operate, and very easy to clean and inspect, because we have only one shell with two fluid tubes. That's why it's a simple construction. That's why the easy to operate and easy to clean. Again, the maintenance is maintenance is little cost, because it's a fire tube boiler. For that purpose, there may be a huge bursting chances of fire tubes due to repeated heating functions. So for that purpose, the maintenance is a little bit high. The load fluctuation can be easily met due to the large water storage. So here the storage is more. For that purpose, the load fluctuation can be easily met. And overall efficiency is high, has 80 to 85% due to the superheater and economizer. So here we are using economizer and superheater as accessory. For that purpose, we can increase the efficiency of the boiler above 80 to 85%. So boiler is a natural circulation, so electricity consumption is less. So here the circulation is natural, therefore there is no any forced circulation required. Forced fans are not required. For that purpose, we will going to minimize the consumption of electricity. So that is the one advantages. It can easily meet the load requirement. So you can use in moderate application. For that purpose, this boiler is very much suited for the moderate range of pressure. So for that purpose, this will meet the load requirement in moderate applications. So let's take a disadvantage of a Lancashire boiler. So here the steam generation is very low, that is slow, that is 9000 kg per hour is only that's not only possible. Occupies more space, about 40 meters square for 5000 kg hour capacity, because it's a huge construction. As you seen in the videos as well as in diagram, it's a huge diameter of shell as well as a huge diameter of a tube containing for that purpose, and then require huge structures to install. For that purpose, it is a it occupies more space. Again, the maintenance of brickwork is tedious, because it's a heavy weightage boiler. For that purpose, the brickwork is a little bit tedious to construct. The grade area is limited to small diameter of the fire tubes. Again, the low pressure boiler. This is a low pressure boiler. We can say up to only 20 bar is only possible. It requires more time to generate steam. It cannot generate high pressure steam if required. So this is a boiler. We can say it's a slow one. A slow boiler. The process is very slow. The complete generation of steam, complete superheated steam is available in only available at a certain time. It will consume more time to convert purity of steam. So by using this boiler, we can use instantaneously. We have a saturated steam, but for the conversion from saturated to superheated time, it will require time as well as. So for complete operation, complete quality with required pressure and temperature, this boiler will take too much time. There is one disadvantage of the Lancashire boiler. Students, I have explained Lancashire boiler, the advantages and disadvantages. I have shown the diagram and I have explained in detail point by point. Let's move on to the locomotive boiler. So, what is locomotive boiler? Let's take a glance at locomotive boiler. Before getting to the locomotive boiler, you just see, watch one video. I will provide it for you for better understanding purpose.
In the California Railroad Museum Sacramento facility, the new, custom-built $600,000 boiler has arrived. It sits beside its 120-year-old predecessor. Aside from welds, instead of rivets, it's an exact duplicate. The long boiler has a firebox at the rear where coal or oil is burned and heats up water taken from the tender. boiler is kept nearly full at all times. The steam builds pressure just like a tea kettle, and that is gathered in the steam dome. Inside the dome is a valve controlled by the engineer. When he opens it, the high-pressure steam is let into a big pipe running to the front of the engine, where it's separated and taken down to each cylinder. A valve slides back and forth across the top of the cylinder, letting high-pressure steam in to push the piston one way, and opening on the other side when the piston moves back, letting the steam out. Each stroke of the piston pushes the rods which turn the wheels. The escaping steam and smoke on each side of the stroke of the piston create the chugging sound we all know.
Please watch another video. It will very much helpful to understand what is locomotive boiler and how it is
one of the most important inventions
in steam
key
engines.
aspects of the Industrial Revolution. The invention of the steam engine has changed and additions to the technology of the time. Steam-powered locomotives is one of the best remarkable example. Today, we learn the working function of steam locomotive engine. But, before going into the main topic, we will know, what is steam engine? Steam engine is a machine that converts the heat energy of steam into mechanical energy. A steam engine passes its steam into a cylinder, where steam pushes a piston back and forth. It is with this piston movement that the engine can do mechanical work. Let's learn the different parts of steam locomotive boiler engine. These are fire hole, fire box, smoke docks, blast pipe, superheater header, superheater element pipes, dome, regulator valve, safety valve, and chimney. Let's learn the working function of steam locomotive engine. The coal is burned on the grate inside the fire ducts. The hot gases are drawn through long tubes in the boiler to the smoke box, and then out of the locomotive from the chimney. The heat from the firebox heats up the water in the boiler. Water is also heated by the heat from the hot gases going through the long tubes. As water becomes hotter, it turns into saturated steam, which collects above the water. The regulator valve, which is situated in the dome. It controls the passage of the steam to the cylinders. The safety valves on top of the boiler release the steam if the pressure rises to a dangerous level. The saturated steam, which flows through the main steam pipe to the superheater header, and then it travels through superheater element pipes in the boiler, where it is heated up. After that, it will have become superheated steam. The extremely hot steam flows through the steam pipes to the cylinders, where the steam pressure the pistons, which move the wheels of the locomotive. To the cylinders. The safety valve.
Students, let's take a glance here. Let's say this is a firebox. So inside the coal is fed from the coal door. Then the coal will fed in the grate. So here the combustion will take place. From the combustion, the hot flue gases will passes through the fire tube here. So thus fire tube will after transferring the heat to the water, the water is surrounded here. Let's see in blue color. Those water is surrounded. Water is surrounded by the fire tube. That will extract the heat from the tube, from the flows, the inside flowing of the flue gases. That flue gases will passes through the straight tube and escapes to the smoke box. Again, the water is converted into steam and is stored in the upper portion. From the upper portion, when the steam is saturated conditions, it will taken up onto the steam. This is the saturated steam. Saturated steam is taken to this superheater header. From the superheater header, it will flows here by upcoming of the flue gases in the upper portion. Then again, it finally goes to the superheated condition. Then you'll finally the engine. So this is how the engine will
on top
work
of
like
the boiler.
this.
Release the steam if the pressure rise to a dangerous level. The saturated
So students, you may came in conclusion with some concept how the locomotive boilers are worked. So now you see here the diagram is a little bit opposite here. So this is a firebox. We have firebox in grade. So here the coal is fed. So from this coal, this is the firewall. Here from the firewall the coal is fed to the fire grade. So there you have combustion will occur. That after combustion, the flue gas will flows in the horizontal direction in the fire tubes. From the fire tube, it is surrounded by the water. Let's see here. This is a drum. This is the drum where the water contained in the drum, the water will circulate, water will surrounded by this tube. Once the heat is transferred to the surrounded water, that will convert it into steam, that will store in the upper portions. So here we have finally we have a steam regulator is there. The regulator will be provided. This is a steam dome. Here the steam is safe. The safety valve is for escape of the excess of steam pressure. Then the regulator is given here to go through the this is again we have a steam superheater. This superheater tubes are given. Again that steam will flows to the nozzle to the engine. To the nozzle, from nozzle it will flows to the engine, again flows down. So this is you can call this as a blast pipe. After that, the chimney is given. From the chimney the flue gases will flows out. So these are the doors are provided for the inspection purpose. So these are called smoke tubes, and this is the damper is provided for the airflow. This is the cabin. So this is how the locomotive boiler are employed. So let's move on to the working principle. Student, the coal fed through the firewall and burns at the grade. As it is, the coal is required. Either it may be solid or liquid coal, preferably solid coal, because earlier this engine is preferably used in locomotive railway locomotive engines. For that purpose, only coal is the only fuel are used. So in earlier days, so for that coal is fed through the firewall and it burns on the grade. Below the grade, there is an ash pit. Air is supplied through the damper hole into the ash pit. I already explained. The air will flows to the damper inside the firebox. After that, the hot flue gases, while passing through the fire tubes, imparting their heat energy to surroundings, water then discharged to the chimney. So this is the concept. The function is hot flue gases, while passing through the fire tubes from the firebox, will impart their heat energy to surroundings, water then discharged to the chimney. So the steam generated or collects in the steam dome, and the dry saturated steam is led to the engine for expanding and doing work. So this is the function. So steam generated will be collected in the steam dome, and then the dry steam or superheated steam will flows to the engine for expanding external work. So this is the how the steam will expand the engine. So finally, the superheated steam is supplied to the engine through the superheated steam pipe, which is obtained. The steam is taken to the superheater header. So I already explained the saturated steam will be stored in the steam dome, will send back to the superheater, where the actual temperature of the steam will increase. The pressure will be same at constant pressure, with the temperature will increase. Due to increase of temperature, the saturation saturated steam will be get converted into superheated steam. That superheated steam will flows to superheated. From superheated it will flows to the steam engine. So draught in this boiler is provided due to the exhaust steam from the cylinder, which is situated axially below the chimney. So the draught is provided below the chimney. So this is induced type of draught in below the chimney is provided to remove the flue gases from the boiler to escape to the atmosphere. This is the working principle of locomotive boiler. So students, let's move on the advantages of locomotive boiler. So these are the basic advantages. Are portable, and it's a very compact size, easy of operation, and cost effective boiler. So these are the simple parameter. It's a you can portable, you can move from one place to another place also, because it's a mobile boiler. You can call it as a mobile boiler. As you see in our video, the boiler will moving in the track. That is a locomotive boiler, and it's a very compact in size, easy operation, and cost effective boiler. It is capable of meeting sudden and fluctuating demand of the steam. If the sudden demand is required, then this boiler very much suited for the fluctuating loads. So it has a high steam generation rate. It can produce more than 20 bar pressure steams. For the purpose is a high steam generation, we can call as. So disadvantages. So it faces the problems of corrosion and scale formation, because already you know. So the water tube and the fire tube boilers are always faces the erode problem. So for that purpose, it will also be faces some corrosion and scale formation, because it depends upon the quality of fuel. So if the silicon is more than silica is more in fuel, solid fuel, then silicon dioxide is or sulfur dioxide will occur in the combustion. So due to sulfur dioxide, the erode of the tube are occurring. So this is one major problem will occur in locomotive boiler. Unable to work under heavy load condition because of overheating problem. So repeatedly running the boiler, then the overheating problem will occur. So for that purpose, and not able to run continuously. That is one disadvantages. Some of its water spaces are difficult to clean. Because the limited fire tubes are given. So underneath we are not able to go inspect and go and check the problem of the tube. So for that purpose, it's very difficult and a little bit complicated to overhauling this system. So this is another disadvantages. Students, in this session we have discussed Lancashire's boiler, their advantages and functions, and construction features and advantages and disadvantages we have gone through with some videos and some diagrams. So similarly for locomotive boilers also we have gone through some videos, as well as we have studied various functions and how the locomotive boiler are used, and what are the applications of locomotive boiler. Those are all we came into know with this session. So let's move on the multiple choice questions. Probable questions may expect from these session, or you can have first question. Lancashire boiler is a stationary fire tube boiler, horizontal boiler, internally fired boiler, natural circulation boiler, all of the above, none of the above. The question is, it's a stationary fire tube boiler. That is the answer. So second one, locomotive boiler is a single tube horizontal internally fired and stationary boiler, single tube vertical externally fired and stationary boiler, multi-tubular horizontal internally fired and mobile boiler, multi-tubular horizontal externally fired and stationary boiler. So the answer is, it's a multi-tubular horizontal internally fired and mobile boiler, because it's preferably used in steam engine in the locomotives. So for that purpose, it is called as a mobile boiler. So these are the typical question we may expect from the sessions. So in detail MCQs are provided for you for the better reference. Will you provided by through in different media. You can check out the different MCQs related to this sessions. So let's move on to the reference. Students, I have referred the following books for the preparing of this PPT. for teaching of steam boilers. So these are the PPTs, these are the student books I have referred. Heat Engines by Pandya and Shaha, and Thermodynamics and Heat Power Engineering, Mathur and Mehta, and a textbook of Thermal Engineering R.S. Kurmi, Thermal Engineering by P.L. Belani, Thermal Engineering Mahesh M. Rathore. So these are the books I have preferred, I have used for reference. Please go through it. Any doubt, clarification, you can go through these books. You can get the doubt clearly. You can get the details elaborately also. So students, I will going to give one activity related to this session. Please visit nearest power plants or railways workshops and prepare handwritten report on specification of locomotive boilers and Lancashire boilers are used, and these preferably locomotive boilers are early days. The locomotive boilers are used in the railway railway locomotive engines. So you can visit there, and also you can visit in railway workshop or railway museums also there. Some typical activity on typical locomotive boilers also there. You go through there and prepare a detailed report consisting what actually the locomotive boilers are contains. So this is regarding our activity. Any question, please mail to malleshanayak@gmail.com. Thank you. Once again, I will get back to you in another session with the session 4. Just go through this session and keep learning, and just refer whatever the books I have given. Thank you once again. Stay safe, stay healthy.